Hello everybody, today I'm going to talk about the meaningful learning on my lesson plan. The name of my lesson plan is Construyendo mi cuento. This is because the lesson plan that I choose in order to show you the meaningful learning on my students is based on a subject of the institution where I work, that is lengua materna, or in our words, Spanish. Okay? First of all, I'm going to talk about the purpose of the lesson. In this case, take into account that my students are 5 and 6 years old. The purpose of my lesson plan is the communication. Not only try to understand their own codes because they don't even know the letters, but also try to understand the way that they express ideas, not only based on stories, but also based on their own daily routines and their routines, or maybe the order where when something happened. It's quite good to talk about the purpose of the lesson, and in some cases as teachers we think that our lesson plan is the best, but also it's so important to take into account the challenges that we present. We need to put in practice the lesson plan. During the process, I could see that some students present a little bit nervous. Maybe their feelings were not the same when they were in front, and also when they were in their own shares. That's the reason why that I decided to put this part as a challenge, because when they go and present their own stories, their attitude, and also the way that they talk to me, and also even with the other um, partners, they change a lot. But that was maybe because of the pressure, maybe because they didn't even remember the story, and things like that. So it is so important to take into account that too. And in some minutes you will see some examples based on the things that I'm talking right now.
Que se llamaba Antonio. El dinosaurio se llamaba Dino. La mamá Laura. Una niña estaba dormida y soñó con un dinosaurio. La ternera quería hacerle una fiesta de cumpleaños a su madre.
Sí.
Sigue.
Ajá. Ujú.
If you ask me about the connection with the real world based on the meaningful learning, I could say that was so interesting to see how some of them create maybe the spoiler of the stories because they didn't know how to connect the ideas, or maybe even they didn't remember the story properly. So the idea of this lesson plan is not only try to memorize a story and that's it, and trying to express with their own words, but also try to understand the sequence. As I already talked at the beginning of the video, the main purpose of this is try to understand the sequence based on the way that things happened. Try to understand is in one, is in two, but some of them make the spoilers about the story, and of course the activity was completely different as we expect as teachers, no. On the other hand, from my personal opinion, we create this activity as an institution because it's an excellent idea that kindergartens try to understand the way we need to express daily routines, maybe something that happened. Well, I already say that, but maybe not only based on the institution, maybe some personal stuff, at home, or things like that. You can see during the process of this lesson plan that our students create a story based on animals, and you can say, okay, what the reason is, you know The reason is because they are kindergartens, as I already mentioned, and of course, the meaningful learning it's most related with something that they really liked it. You know, in this case, we choose animals because animals are the most common thing that students could see and understand as soon as they born. You know, most of them has at least one pet at home, so they can recognize the characteristics of a pet even if they are completely different. For instance, I don't know, bunnies or cats, they are completely different, but some characteristics are so similar, you know. So that's the reason why that as teacher I decided to put animals because there is a little bit easier. Try to make a story based on something that they already know, that try to embed in something that they couldn't, you know. And of course, in few minutes you will see some records that I have the possibility to record based on their own
Taking
presentations.
into account the last two
Some of
samples
them
that I showed
based
you,
on
we
their
can see
own
that the
family
first student
opinions.
prepares the custom,
They
prepares the
didn't
visual
participate in the
aids for
activity
the
in
presentation.
spite of
But
the
on the other
score
hand,
and
the
also in
second
spite
one
of the
didn't prepare a
you
costume
know
or maybe
things like that.
a big visual aid
But some of
for
them
her
make a really good job.
exposition.
So I'm going to
In
show you
spite of
this.
both of them make an excellent job, and of course both of them that would be the winner, but it is so essential taking into account that the confidence that we can provide to the students is the most important when they try to expose, or in this case create a storytelling activity. But that is the good idea. This is the end of the video. I hope that you really like it. Please take a look at the lesson plan where you can see more information about the warm-ups and hands-off experience based on the same topics. And my name is Diana Gutierrez, and bye bye.